Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well this morning. Good to see everybody. Man, oh man. Hey, how's it going? What is it? Nama? Who schedules stuff for 6 a.m.? Well, I do. Sometimes 6:30 in the morning. Good stuff. Yeah, no, I do the early show. Yeah, I know you're just joking. Good to see you. Good to see you, T-Rex. How you doing this morning? Glad you could make it this morning. And Sean, hello. Good stuff. It is Monday morning. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter show. I have a not a shit show. Well, that'll probably happen. That will probably happen. But morning show. I have some construction workers that are coming by. They're going to be destroying my basement, so I won't be running super long. As soon as they get here, I'll be shutting down the stream and heading out. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But it should be a pretty interesting one today. Not a whole lot of news outside of dropping things in Gaza and crap like that. I mean, nothing important really happened over the weekend. This is the way that it goes. Um, First, we'll get a little bit of the politics out of the way so we can talk about that there real quick. Here we go. So a little bit of politics out of the way. Austin, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton made impeachment on Super Tuesday. He wants political revenge. Hooray, hooray. Republican who just 6 months ago was on the brink of removal from office is charging into Texas primaries with a dramatic campaign to oust dozens in his own party. They include regulators, judge, and the House Speaker Dade Felon, who oversaw the historic vote last year to impeach him on corruption charges. So hooray, hooray for him. So he's just I don't really know too much about this guy, but it looks like it made the news for some reason. Looks like Paxton's after felon for the victory that would come after toppling House leadership. But if he was corrupt, I mean, that sort of does happen. I mean, Felon's 2 sessions as House Speaker were a bonanza for conservatives. Since 21, Texas passed some of the most restrictive anti-killing baby laws in the country. Supported Abbott's headline making illegal immigration crackdown. Okay. Banned chopping little kids' parts off. Okay. Eliminated, what do you call it? Eliminated divert. Oh, DRE. Okay. Or DEI is what I think they call it. DEI. Yeah, eliminated that. But it was also Felon's house that set Paxton impeachment in motion. Well, the guy did something illegal. Yep. Oh, it looks like uh Felon doesn't like the Trump or something, so he's trying to ride on the Trump train. Hooray. Gotta love that. Oh my gosh, why would you ride on the Trump train like that? Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're not subbed, then go ahead and sub. Oh, hey, how you doing, Lexi? Happy new day. Yes, it is. It is a new day. Hopefully, within the next couple of weeks, I will have my space back and start getting the new office all set up and looking nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to build my own desk or if I'm just going to buy one. I was thinking of getting a stand desk, where you can stand up so you adjust at different heights. I don't know. It seems like it would be a really good idea until you start looking at how unstable they are. And I do a lot of moving whenever I'm even sitting down. I'm constantly doing multiple things, especially at work. In case you people don't know, I'm a paralegal is what I do now, but I do a lot of moving things around and constantly writing and doing edits and typing. And so if I'm standing up and I've got a desk that starts wobbling, that's going to be really bad. I need something that's going to be pretty damn stable. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, if I do get a stand desk, it'll be a nice one. But if I'm going to spend that kind of money on something, it's definitely going to be something that is going to last me a while. So it looks like, according to the AP here, Russian disinformation is about immigration. It's very confusing. The real aim is to undercut Ukraine aid. Okay, well, let's find out what that's all about. Uh, you're better at getting one that raises and lowers electronically. Yeah, see, here's the thing that now that is what I'm talking about. One that raises and lowers electronically. Um, the problem that I found with like especially like your Amazon ones, which are really cheaply built, they don't have enough structural integrity. Plus the size of the the table has to the top of it has to be a certain width for me to be able to use it, just because the amount of stuff that I do. So I have to get something that's really beefed up. And if I get one that is like just the bottom, because I do have something that's a top, I'm not sure if I'm going to do an L shape in there. So the plan is to basically do a mock setup in there with I'll probably just get some 2x4s and attach them and make a somewhat of a table to get an idea about height, and then sort of figure out where everything's going to be located, and then decide whether I'd get a standing desk or not. No, insomnia is a biatch. Yeah, it does happen. So Russian disinformation is about immigration. Real aim is to undercut Ukraine aid. Well, let's see what that's all about. For Vladimir Putin, victory in Ukraine must run through Texas Rio Grande Valley. Okay. In recent weeks, Russian state media and online accounts tied the Kremlin have spread and amplified misleading and incendiary content about U.S. immigration and border security. Sure. Campaign seems crafted to stroke outrage and polarization before the 2024 election. Experts who study Russian disinformation say Americans can expect more to come as Putin looks to weaken support for the Ukraine and cut off vital supply of aid. Hmm, hooray. In social media posts, online videos, stories, and websites, these accounts misstate the impact of immigration. Really? Well, I don't believe that for a second. How about this? The disinformation that we're seeing coming in about Ukraine might be just trying to avoid the issues that we have going on our border. I mean, this seems a little more logical to me, because what does Russia care about the southern border? It would behoove them to be worried about that. I mean, we already know that they'll send aid over to Gaza, over to Palestine. The U.S. they're doing airdrops over there. Sounds more French than Russian. Probably the ones under 200 are. Oh yeah. The next tier up does make all the difference. Well, like I said, I did some research on it, and I'm probably looking at under $1,000, just a little bit to get a good desk. There's also a couple other things that are going to be going in there, because not only do I work, during the day from my office, but I also do streaming, in the morning and at night, and so I'm probably going to get a dog bed in there. So especially whenever it's storming, the dogs will come down and hang out with me. So they don't really have any place. They used to just like curl up in a little spot, different spots, and on the corner, in the corner with the carpeted floor, but the floor is going to be all tiled out. And then I've got to get a rug in there, probably end up getting a couch. Like have my little casting couch in there. Just kidding. It'll be more like an extra bed if ever needed, kind that sort of folds out. And then I need to get a new filing cabinet because the old one got destroyed in the flood, and that kind of stuff. Just simple stuff that needs to be replaced and upgraded. It's been years. And the only problem that I see, there's a couple problems with the standing desk, is how much weight it can handle. I'm gonna have a place to mount the desktop, because I don't use a laptop, and it's a small, desktop computer, but it's still, I'd rather have it mounted underneath, so I don't have, too many cables just floating all over the place, which are, just cost extra money to get all that stuff. Plus I want to have things up off the floor a little bit, you know, easier to keep clean. Pivot towards the United States comes after Russia's vast disinformation apparatus. And so that was like 4, 6, 8 years ago. Sounds more French than Russian. Thank you, John. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Things have shifted even in the last few days, said Kyle Walter, head of research at Logically. Huh. What I wonder what Logically is, because I want to. We've heard a lot about this, about these companies that are starting to come in. Let's see. Google search for Logically. Oh, Logically. There we go. And we'll just pull it up and try to figure out what is about these. Let's see. Logically is a cyber first future ready. Uh, let's see. I don't see anything about these people. Looks like they're into cybersecurity. It's time you had an IT partner that works for you. Okay. Value our relationships. Okay. Cyber, no. Quick response. I don't, these all look like a bunch of choosing MSP. Resources, blogs, some customer support, customer login. I don't know. I don't know. They seem like they've got a lot of the, what do you call it? Those, those Adobe. I'm not late. You're early. Hey, good to see you, Eris. I'm glad you made it. Oh, she's got a whole new one here. What is that? Looks like it's a baby arm holding an apple. That's what it is, with a snake biting it. Just giving you a hard time, Eris. I love the new one. Oh, so this is Logically right here. And whenever you see these kinds of like pictures, they're just those kinds of like made up, what do you call it? Adobe stock videos or stock photos, like where they have all of the stuff already pre-done. So more than likely they're a very small company. Yeah, that even looks like stock video. Looks like all stock video that they have. It says they have 40 cyber professionals. Okay. And then of course they're across the nation, and IT professionals, 650 plus, 3,000 customers, global support, 24/7. So that's what these people are about. Okay, well, let's see if we can open that up in a new tab. Okay, here we go. We'll share this instead. Share this tab instead. So it looks like these people right here across the U.S. now can live fact check U.S. presidential debate on Tuesday. Oh, by the way, Tuesday night. Don't forget, we'll be we'll be pulling that up right there, and we'll be watching that one. The social enterprise using advanced AI. Oh, Jesus Christ! These people with their advanced AI shit. Do you not realize AI is basically garbage in, garbage out? If you feed it garbage and you feed it lies, it's going to feed you the same garbage right back at you. Good Lord. The news will live fact check claims made both by Trump and Biden via its Logically app. This is the latest innovation by the company, which combines AI and intelligence, human intelligence, okay, to help government bodies and social platforms uncover the address misinformation. Well, we already know that Trump likes to holler and scream and talk shit, and half of what he says is not quite true. It's an exaggeration on things, but we also know that that's what politicians do. They exaggerate things, and it will be interesting to see how much they can actually keep up with peanut brain that can't make a coherent sentence, about like me this morning. Someone that cannot make a coherent sentence, and listening to them as they're going through this debate of, well, are you guys just going to keep repeating the same thing, like calling this country a democracy? Oh, it's a constitutional republic. It has been since its inception. Like, are they going to live fact check that and make sure that they have that correct? The logically apt will stream the presidential debates while featuring a live and scrolling timeline of fact checks as claims are made will be deemed true, false, or misleading. Well, if Biden is talking, they're more than likely misleading, or they'll say, "Oh yeah, the handguns, they're the ones attacking people." It's like there's no such thing as an assault weapon. It's amazing. I've never seen a single weapon jump up and assault people, go charging at them. Nope. Leveraging its advanced multi-model AI along with its largest fact-checking team in the world logically aims to provide debate viewers with the truth as we know it, or as we're trying to be told it is. Logic has been deploying its intelligent platform to identify and disarm misinformation surrounding elections in the UK and India. Well, it hasn't been working too well in India, as well as working with bodies and organizations to successfully identify and control misinformation about critical areas such as the KUF, BLM, and QAnon. Oh, let me guess. They were mostly peaceful protests, is what they were, and of course we know that that COVID, killed millions of people, millions upon millions. And there's nothing wrong with that vaccine. I mean, go get yourself like your 10th jab or whatever it takes. Just make sure that you're healthy. Don't listen to your own doctor that might be, smarter than, or know what's best for you. But just make sure that you do exactly what government tell you be doing. Founded in 2017 by MIT Lyric Jane. Huh. I wonder who Lyric Jane is. I want to see who this is. Oh, let's see. Let's do a Google search for Lyric Lane. Oh, okay. Lyric Jane. He's does one of those TED talks. Well, there was something that I watched not too long ago. COVID killed the radio star. No, actually, COVID eras made the radio star. It also made a lot of YouTube channels really big during COVID. Those lockdowns were probably the best thing for YouTube. I'm serious. Hey, how's it going? Hello, 14 people watching. Come in, chat. You're bored. Eris, don't be bored. A lot of people are just driving. They're enjoying their morning coffee. They're on their way to work, and this is just how it goes. We're glad to have all 14 people, and the more the merrier. So this guy, Lyric Jane. Now, what was I talking? Oh yeah, TED Talk. So there was this TED Talk that came out. It was, oh, we're working on this advanced AI that's going to shoot mosquitoes out of the sky. No, seriously, it was a whole display they had. It's got this advanced tracking, and little laser beams will shoot their wings off and kill them. And so you'll have this bug zapper that'll be sitting out in the your back porch or whatever, and as the mosquitoes would fly, it would just zap their little wings off of them, fry them up because it would track these. And they were working really diligently on this. And there was a guy that made a video about this because he was like pretty pissed off. Like, hey, nobody's done this laser thing, that does any sort of tracking. So he decided to make a fly swatter out of lasers. It's a laser fly swatter. So his whole thing was he had to get these beams all lined up and bouncing off one another and basically make a mesh. And then, he would sit there and zap them. I mean, the thing used an insane amount of power just to power up those lasers, and he burned, himself and a couple other people with them. But hey, how's it going, Gerard? Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Glad you could make it. Um, but it just, the as these things go, these people that are these big TED talks that are coming across saying, oh, they have so much AI that can do X, Y, or Z. You're going to see this kind of stuff just explode. Let's see. Not really seeing anything about this guy. He he was he's from Mysore. I don't know where Mysore is. He went to Cambridge and MIT. founder of a tech startup. So it's just a startup. Utilizes AI to change the. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they use this for YouTube. So yeah, it's not. I don't know about this guy. Yeah. So Lyric Jane, whatever. Sounds to me a lot like this. Like Chris Boozy. I mean, if you don't know who Chris Boozy is, then just realized that he got in trouble for using Twitter and using its API to you know create misinformation and say call out people and say that this was misinformation. These people were doing bad deeds and acts and got himself in trouble. And he was a crypto scam artist is where he got his start at. So he would create these basically crypto scams, and all they were is just rug pulls, and you know that I don't know how many of those went bankrupt before he finally latched on to pulling down the API from Twitter to try to say that these accounts were good, these were accounts were spreading misinformation, and then he got some funding by what was it, the Prince whatever that was hanging out with Epstein. Yeah, that one got a lot of people in trouble on Twitter because, as soon as they would mention anything about him and Epstein, it would get shut down. Then he got involved with Amber Heard and started like going after people that were talking about Amber Heard. Then they tried using this kind of information in the trial. So if you haven't watched the Amber Heard trial, then well, you know exactly, that there's people out there that are not like the greatest characters, and I don't trust this guy any further than I can throw him. I'm sure he's a smart, brilliant guy, but I really don't trust logically at all. So whenever you start talking about misinformation, then I just get a little bit okay. So that sounds to me like that's what they're going to be talking about here. This month, logically identified dozens of pro-Russian accounts posting about immigration in the U.S. with a particular interest in promoting recent anti-illegal immigration rallies in Texas. Huh. In recent logically assessment concluded that after 2 years spent largely dedicated to the war in Russia and the war in Ukraine, Russia's disinformation apparatus has started 2024 with a focus on the U.S. Well, I mean, it becomes the question is it disinformation or is it misinformation that the government is feeding this? Because if you think about this, we should not have to send any sort of support to Ukraine because they are winning by leaps and bounds without proper funding. Okay, they've been able to lose only 31,000 troops in the past 2 years since they've been battling Russia, and Russia has lost in the hundreds of thousands. We're talking like 454,000. That was the last count that I can possibly remember. I mean, with numbers like that, they'll have Russia taken over in no time. They'll have fought Russia off, like because there's just not that many people. But 454,000 in 2 years that they've lost, that's an insane amount. Um, and it's just so insane that Russia is so massive, but still cannot the beat the Ukrainians because the Ukrainians are so good. So yeah, like I said, you give it good information, you're going to get good information. You give it crappy or wrong information, AI is going to spit out the same wrong information. Many posts highlights crimes allegedly committed by recent illegals or suggest illegals are a burden on local communities. Well, see, there's a big difference between immigrants and migrants. Okay. Immigrants are immigrants that are immigrating to the US. Migrants are people that come to the US and they do work and then they go right back, sort of like traveling from one place to do a job, and then you travel to another place to do a job. Hey, Toodly Pip, good to see you. I thought I saw Toodly Pip in there. Now it's Jiraiya. Man, you guys got some of the coolest icons though. So, and then there's a big difference because now where did I see that? I saw that today, and it was Nope, nope, nope. Let me find where that one is because it was insane. Oh, nope, that's not it. That's not it. No, no. What I just read is they want to change the language and they want to make it um what is it? A bannable offense on certain platforms if you use the word illegal in place of immigrant. They want to make it if you say an illegal immigrant, they want to put you in timeout for doing that. They want to make it bad thing for you to do. Hey pup, what's up? See, I got crazy dog right here. Decided to come in and say hello. What you doing? Hey, stop. I see you. I see you. Crazy. Hey, stop. All right. All right. You're good. You're good. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what shows up and says hello. I know. You want to get beat? I know you want to get beat. You want to be beat. All right. Give me just a second. Let me put him in the other room. I'll still be talking. Sorry about that. Puppy needed to go out and do his business, but that's all it was. But I'll be letting those work at probably about half an hour is what they're saying, but you never know. So they want to make it where you get in trouble for using the word illegal immigrant in place of immigrant. They just want it to fall under one roof, one place. Um, so it's saying most posts highlight crimes allegedly committed by illegals or suggest illegals are a burden on local communities. Well, that is not a suggestion. That is the truth. And if you start changing names or changing words of what they're meaning, it becomes a real issue. Some claims were posted by accounts with tiny audiences like mine. Others were made by state media sites with millions of followers. This week, the account seized on a recent death of a Georgian nursing student and the arrest of a Venezuelan man who entered the U.S. illegally. It's called an illegal immigrant and was allowed to stay to pursue his immigration case. Well, no. He was arrested multiple times. That's not misinformation. He was arrested and he was released. He was caught, he was arrested, he was released after doing illegal shit in the first place. Like if they would have kept him in jail, that probably would not have happened. The killing that quickly became a rallying cry for former President Donald Trump and other Republicans who suggest that illegals commit crimes more often than do U.S. citizens. I don't know. See, I don't believe that. I mean, you can say it doesn't mean it's true. Now, so you're going to get a partially true thing of that. You know, people are shitty people no matter where they're from. But if you have no, if I'm a U.S. citizen, it's a lot easier to keep track of me and the kind of shenanigans I'm up to. If you're if you're here illegally, what does it stop you from doing things illegally in the first place? You're already a criminal. You can just continue being a criminal. And that's the other thing. They'll say, "Oh well, he was traveling here as part of asylum. He was seeking asylum." Hmm. Well, according to international law, he should be getting asylum in the first country that comes to, which will be, which would be the Mexico side. You know, as they come across those South American countries that are attached to Mexico, they flee to Mexico so that Mexico should become the place where they are and where they stay. But no, no, they stay here. So, and of course, the evidence does not support those claims, of course, but it does support the claims that illegals are a burden on society. So, if you burden on U.S. economy, so illegal immigrants a burden on U.S. economy. It always happens. So the problem is they're not taking these by themselves. They're 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 taking them as one piece or another, and not necessarily a, a creed kind of derives, making man lazier. In addition, an attempt to make AI think once it figures out how. Is it still muted or did it come back? If it's still muted, I'm sorry. I'll have to readjust my settings on it. Make sure that we've got the audio working. No, it looks like it's back up and running. It's because my headphones will shut off after a period of time, even while I'm talking. Um, so the evidence doesn't support those claims. Like I said, pieces of those claims are what the pain is. If you put it all in as a bunch, it's like saying that the sky is blue, that that the dirt is generally brown, that the grass is green, and then come in and say, and uh, white people are the scourge of the planet. All right, now we know that that whole statement is not true, although most of it could be true. So you have to sort of parse out what's going on. AI can't parse out those little sections of lies or truth. Hey, Lefty, good to see you. Thank you, thank you. I know. I figured it would come back. It happens only after like 15, 20 minutes. It figures how childlike the human race is. If it does manage to become self-aware, mankind is pretty fucked. Yeah, that is. Well, let's see. Biden Democrats wanted the border bill, more money to spend towards processing individuals, but criminals aren't using that system. Exactly. The content crafted in English has quickly found its way to websites and platforms popular among American voters. Anti illegal immigration broadcast by Russia. Example is racking up thousands of views. Russian outlet Sputnik ran a story this week about growing calls to build a U.S. Mexican border wall, priority for Trump. Well, they're also, I don't know. I just have to shake my head on all this because it looks to me like they're adding disinformation, and then they're trying to say anything that's against this is disinformation. Russia mounted disinformation campaign designed to cut into support for Ukraine. Yeah, but what does it matter? We are not allies with Ukraine. We have signed no peace treaty with Ukraine. There is nothing we have to give us any sort of advantage, except Russia has said no, you need to stop expanding NATO. We're happy to become part of NATO, but under our terms. That is what they've said. So they just, I'm sorry. I can't continue reading this right here. It's just stupid. Like right here it comes. They don't need to put a ton of effort into causing disinformation because they've already laid the groundwork leading up to 2024. Oh, good morning. How are you doing, atheist ant? It'll probably be a short one today because like I said, we have a crew of workers that's supposed to be here this morning. I think they just arrived, so it won't be very long. The A is good, the B is bad. Anything that isn't A is also bad. Exactly. Ukraine can grab a spoon and eat my ass. Absolutely. And I mean, I feel for the folks in Ukraine, that they're put into this situation of their leaders doing shenanigans, and that's just the route that they've sort of traveled down. It sucks, and I don't agree with Russia going into Ukraine. I think that's a terrible idea. But to tell lies about it on the U.S. side to get support, or use a a, a bill that's full of like what we used to call it pork, which is just a bunch of excess that doesn't need to be in there, and then want to say that certain things are misinformation. This is just politics, and I just don't buy any of that stuff. But let me run through a couple more things here really quick. So right here, share the tab. So what is Super Tuesday? Why it matters, what to watch, and of course they'll be talking about crucial moment for Biden and Trump. of course, we already know that they're both front runners for Democrat and Republican. And tomorrow, that's what we'll be talking about. That we'll probably focus more on this tomorrow because that's going to be pretty interesting kind of stuff. That politics. If you're into politics, that's cool. If you're not, that's cool too. But leading into Super Tuesday, this is where it becomes important. Fear and Loathing, Super Tuesday, Democrats to uh, laments that 30,000 Palestinians killed in Gaza. What is it? What is it with these 30,000 and 31,000? It's so sort of crazy. They've been talking about that. Um, just insane. But I do have one thing to share before I go, and that's the key Northern California highway closed as snow continues to fall and the blizzard hit Sierra Nevada. I mean, look at that. That right there. Truckee, California, major highways closed and ski resorts were shut down Sunday as the effects of a powerful blizzard continued to cause problems across the Sierra Nevada. Forecasters warned that more heavy snow was on the way for Northern California. Sections of Interstate 80 to the west and north of Lake Tahoe were made impassable by blowing snow piling up in lanes with no estimate for reopening. California Highway Patrol office in Tahoe warned motorists that tire chains for improved traction are required on routes through the mountains. Oh, that just sounds no fun. Trying to bypass chain control? No, 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 no. Dangerous, not smart. Blizzard was warning in effect until midnight in some areas above 65,000 feet. Love looking at snow. I don't like to be in it anymore. Oh, God, no. I hate snow. It's not a Doma. So the multi-day storm caused traffic backups. Sunday evening, they had restored electricity to about 48,000. Ooh, crazy. Look at that. Yeah, that's a hell of a blizzard right there. March 2nd. That was, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not what you want to be getting stuck in right there. Just wait until it warms up and then you'll be good to go. Then you'll be good to go. And oh, we did miss this one. So looking for a leap year lift. So of course, that was on the 29th. Check out that silly French newspaper that only publishes on February 29th. And it is a leap year only publication filled with cringeworthy puns and commentary on events for the past 4 years. So if you can find a copy of this, oh, just send me a link to my to either Twitter or to YouTube, or email me because I want to get a copy of this that's in English because I think it would be pretty damn funny. It said like the 2024 edition included articles suggesting France doesn't need schools anymore thanks to artificial intelligence. Another floats the idea of dismantling the Eiffel Tower during the Paris Olympics to reduce security risks and have IKEA produce a manual for rebuilding it. I mean, that is pretty damn funny. So they started it as a joke in 1980, naming it after a comic book figure who was born on February 29th. The last edition in 2020, as the world went into lockdowns, sold 120,000 copies. Revenues from the newsstand sales go mainly to charity for people with developmental disorders, including autism, which I think is really noble of these folks. Like I said, you find me a link, and I'll promote the hell out of these guys in 4 years. That would be awesome. Mm. Yes, and you can check out my social media accounts on Linktree right there. Absolutely. One more thing. So I have to show I do have to go through a couple of these things really quick because they are fun to watch or fun to see. So this right here is what they used to show back in the 40s of how to take care of a choking victim. Really cool. Notice the tears on the eye, little tear on the eye. So this is what they used to give to choking victims. This is how they would suggest removing a piece out of someone's throat. And we got one cringe here. Let's see what we got. Yep, we got cringe here. So this will be good. We got to do show the cringe. All right, here we go. Cringe for you, cringe for me.
fact that when I was growing up in the early to mid 2000s, my dad only worked one job, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom for 90% of my life. And we were really lucky, and my dad made about 100K at his job, and that was enough to support a family of 4 on 7 acres of land, plus build our own house. And now that I'm an adult living on my own, I'm single, I have no kids, I can barely even afford rent. Their mortgage payment was $790. Like, I make 60% of what my dad made in the early 2000s, and he was supporting a family of 4 on his solo salary of 100K, and I can't even support myself on a salary of just under 60K. Like,
yeah, there's a reason why you can't, sweetheart. There's an absolute reason why you can't support yourself, is because you spend all your money on doing your little lifts, your plucking, all your facial makeup, all the expensive shit you're spending on. You know where your dad spent all that money at? He spent it on you to make sure that you could go to college, making sure that you were taken care of. He didn't have a brand new car. He drove a ragged out piece of crap that got you from point A to point B. More than likely worked on it himself, or knew a buddy that could do the work for him. So, you know, cry more. Here's the thing: you spend your money in a bad way, bad things are going to happen. Whine and cry.
make it make sense.
That's pretty hard. I think I made a pretty clear objective argument for it. So, how about that, sweetheart? She's just fine. Got them at Eyebrow Hut. she might have, but she spends a lot of money getting all of this work done. And, it's, well, just saying that there's better ways of spending your money that don't involve that. And, that's just sort of how it goes. And let's show you guys this real quick. This I thought was pretty damn cool. There we go. How would you open up your front door to that? That's a California blizzard right there. Like, no, thank you. Keep the snow away from me. I love that. Hey, Volstorm, good to see you. I'll make it make sense. It's a word called sacrifice. Look it up. It's what adults do. Exactly. She's saying that she's making 60K and can't make ends meet. Good Lord. That's it. Also, she's single, making 60K. That's pretty damn impressive. Don't get lost in the blizzard. God, no, thank you. Oh, that's what Volstorm would be doing right now if it was snowing like that. Oh, look at that. Just the insane amount of snow. And people are just going to be stranded here just waiting. Snowplow can't even get through. Yep. No, thank you. Sure you would. You'd totally be out in that, hanging out. If you had no work to do, you would totally be out in that Volstorm. That would be Diva out there doing that. Well, more than likely Diva would be doing that before you would. Oh, damn that door. Yeah, that thing would be cold as all get out. It would be very damn cold. I don't like the cold. I don't like the snow. Like, keep me away from it as much as possible. But I did see something that would be really cool to get. No, no. Well, I do have to show this because I don't want it to be some disinformation. It could be, because I have no way of verifying if this is true, but according to this was an airdrop in Palestine coming from the U.S. I don't know if this is true or not. Send me a snowball for Christmas. So this is supposed to be an airdrop by the U.S. I want to want to see how many people it takes out. Just dum 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 dum. How many people would be injured just trying to get those things out of the water? Yeah, this is supposedly an airdrop. Don't know if it's true or not. Looks like it could be India, but I don't know. It could be anywhere in the world. That looks like a video game. Yeah, probably about the same amount of intelligence that it took to do this. It's insane. What was the other one I was going to show you guys that was really cool? Oh yeah, we have this, and I'll just mute it and slow it down because it is so fun to watch. And yeah, I've got it muted. So this is for your pleasure right here, guys, ladies and gentlemen. The world is a beautiful place. I think we can all come together and be very very happy. That things like this exist. She seems very bright, very intelligent, very lovely. Just saying. Good morning, guys. Good morning, gals. It's a happy day. You suddenly want to get a glass of milk. I don't know why that is. I mean, this is a coffee morning. It is completely all about the coffee. I mean, she has very nice hair. I mean, her eyes are gorgeous. That's all I seem to notice. Yep, that's it. It's morning. Just, yeah, exactly. Thanks, Eris. That's what I will do. I mean, I wasn't looking at those, but now that you pointed out, I mean, that's that's something to be admired. Something to be admired. Mm. So here we have a. I'll just let you guys see this because it's hilarious.
This looks like a big variety of items here. What am I looking at?
And Chris is here. He's one of our leading experts.
Mhm.
It's a table that we tried to lay out certain kinds of things that might be of interest based upon some of the questions that you were asking, right? And so, and the sort of one of the things we did at this table, there's so many more firearms we could talk about, is we tried to put things in pairs. So
Pairs.
if you look at them together, and one of them is sort of the more conventional firearm, which is sometimes they're under the National Firearms Act, right? And the other one is sort of what I would call the attempt to get around it that ATF has been dealing with through rulemaking and through enforcement.
Okay.
So, Chris, I don't know if you want to walk us through.
Correct. So, as the director explained, we have at the top here we have an AK variant. This is a full auto assault weapon, shoulder.
There is no such thing as assault weapons. Just be clear.
Fired. That is covered under the purviews of the National Firearms Act.
How many rounds does it fire?
One at a time. That's it. How many rounds does it fire? It fires one round at a time. One. That's it. One round. That's what it fires. One round at a time. Yeah. Well, they will attack you. If you come in uninvited, those weapons will jump up and attack you. He also said that it was full automatic. An AK-47 can be, but it also has a selector switch on it, so you can go from semi-automatic to full auto. And then there is a variation that you can buy that doesn't go full automatic. So there is a basically, like the M16 back whenever I was in the military, had one that would fire 3-round bursts. So,
well, this has a 30-round magazine with it.
Well, that's what it has with it, but it still will only fire one round at a time.
This is a 75-round drum magazine.
Yeah, so like I said, one round at a time. I mean, you could get one that's belt fed that can, fire off 150 rounds at a time. You could, basically get a never-ending belt and just keep firing rounds until the barrel got too hot and melted, which happens often.
So it's magazine fed, but you can acquire drum magazines as well.
So this one, everybody would agree, right? Covered under the National Firearms Act, fully
Yeah, completely different. Still only fires one at a time.
automatic weapon. Government can have it.
And
Military
just
can have
think,
it.
if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong on this, let me double check here. Yeah, Stephen Deschel went on CBS. The Face of the Nation displays shocking ignorance of firearms while trying to gin up fear about to strip us from our Second Amendment rights. And he also doesn't know the difference. What was it? Doesn't know the difference between a clip and a magazine.
Our leading experts.
Yeah.
It's one of it's a table that we tried to lay out.
So here we go.
Right? Of course, right? How can you tell,
Yeah.
right? These two things are the same.
They look right.
They operate the same. Both of them can shoot right through this 75-round clip.
It's a magazine.
That's what a bump stock looks like?
Correct.
No.
This is a bump stock. Trying to get it to lock back into the
He's an idiot, doesn't.
These
So
are not
No.
loaded.
they're not loaded. We checked them all before
Yes,
we came in.
okay.
So this is the bump stock. The shooter would
Doesn't know
place
how
his
a bump
finger
stock
here
works.
on this piece here, and then it would rock back into the fire.
And you're doing
Oh,
it slow.
good
What rate
lord!
of speed
Not
are we
even
talking
practicing
about?
good firearm safety.
Hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah,
of
he's
rounds.
your new
500,
director for
rounds
the
per minute.
ATF.
Is I believe what they're claiming for this particular firearm.
There is no reason you would use that for hunting.
Sure.
No, I do not.
Yes,
believe you
he
would use this
did.
for hunting. So
This is to shoot large numbers of people at once.
I don't know. I cannot tell you. I mean, you can shoot large numbers of people at once, but doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to do. How about a bunch of hogs? You ever see what a whole I forget what they would call them, a bunch of hogs would do to you? You might want to have something a little bit more like this to go at it.
Well, let me just intervene in this.
And that looks really
that's
cheap.
what happened in Las Vegas.
Really? Those are things that we haven't seen anything about after the fact. Like that story disappeared faster than faster than our rights.
So it was after that massacre in Las Vegas that this
Yeah.
became illegal.
It was after that massacre in Las Vegas that Attorney General of the United States in the last administration.
And
has
I'll
the
just
gift to
say
review
something. It
its
makes
position.
it makes it very difficult to target in on somebody if you're using a bump stock. Okay, so as the rounds are happening, so this thing is rocking back and forth and it's firing rounds. It's going to make it very difficult to hit something. If you've ever fired a fully automatic rifle, those things give a little bit of kick back and forth. You're going to have a hard time hitting
whether
things.
This was classified as an NFA weapon, and the experts.
It's more of a
really suppressive
suppressive fire. Suppressive fire.
That is right now before the Supreme Court.
But the Supreme Court right now is debating whether or not that can be restricted.
So he would have been better off if he would have been using the Barrett 50 caliber. I notice they don't really talk much about that, but this is 21 minutes and we're not going to cover that today. But yeah, this is the intelligence of these people right here, that they feel like they can do do anything. What is that? The assume being bump stock helps make a gun seem full auto. Well, full auto is way more inaccurate. Yeah, absolutely. But that's how it goes. But with all of that information, disinformation, lies, and whatnot, we will have to end our stream here a little bit early because apparently our wonderful deconstruction crew has shown up. They will be destroying my basement here today, and make sure you guys check out tonight. I don't have a link up yet for it, but if you've got your notifications turned on, you can get the notification for tonight. I'll be doing, hopefully, I have Mo in the deep end is able to join me this evening. We're going to be doing a little bit of the a little bit more of the Sadie Shady, and I'm going to introduce her to What the Hales, because I don't think she knows anything about What the Hales, but I'm going to be giving a little introduction to her for that. So keep an eye out for tonight. We're actually doing the interview with Zachariah Anderson. We should be completing that up tonight. I mean, we were really close, and I'm going to introduce her a little bit to the to the to, to the Meet the Hales, or yeah, What the Hales. Sorry, I'm sorry. Long morning. Millions of things on my mind. I'm going to introduce her to What the Hales, for I don't think she knows anything about it, and I think she'll find it very interesting with Lynette. That's going to be something that we talk about tonight. And then, of course, we've got the Super Tuesday that'll be happening, and I'll be doing a stream on Tuesday. Hopefully I'm able to. Just depends on what time they come, because I have to sort of pay attention to the workers and what they're doing, get all that stuff done. But anyhow, you guys have a wonderful morning. Have a wonderful morning. And I will leave you with all the fake coffee drinkers, because they're not drinking any coffee, apparently. I mean, and but they are attractive people, so much more attractive than me. And you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tonight or tomorrow morning if you're a morning person like me. Peace, y'all.